History is not just made by kings or battles. It's shaped by the clash of pride, power, and destiny. In the heart of West Africa, more than 8 centuries ago, two names collided on a dusty battlefield. Sumanguru Kante, the fierce king of Soso, and Sundiata Keita, the lion-hearted prince of Mali. Their meeting, the Battle of Kirina, would end an era and give birth to one of Africa's greatest empires. Before Sundiata's name echoed across Africa, the land trembled under the shadow of one man, Sumanguru Kante. He ruled the Soso kingdom, a small but fierce state that rose from the ashes of the once mighty Ghana Empire. When Ghana collapsed in the 11th century, the trade routes, gold mines, and vassal tribes were left scattered, like a broken crown waiting for a new king to claim it. Sumanguru saw that chance. He was no ordinary ruler. Some called him a blacksmith king, a man said to have mastered iron and fire. Others whispered he was a sorcerer, wielding charms, skulls, and dark magic. He built an army, not just with swords but with fear. Villages that refused his rule were burned. Chiefs who opposed him were impaled. And soon, from the Niger to the forests of Mima, everyone bowed before the Soso tyrant. Sumanguru ruled through terror, but he was also clever. He taxed trade routes, controlled gold, and made Soso powerful again. In many ways, he was trying to rebuild what Ghana had lost, but through fear instead of respect. Far away in the small kingdom of Niani, a child was growing, one that prophecy had already marked as the future savior. His name was Sundiata Keita. Born crippled, unable to walk for years, Sundiata was often mocked, pitied, or ignored. But legends say he had the spirit of a lion. When he finally stood and walked, he pulled himself up using an iron rod, snapping it in half as his first act of strength. People began to whisper, "The Lion of Mali is rising." But not everyone welcomed his rise. After his father's death, Sundiata's stepmother forced him and his mother into exile. They wandered across kingdoms, from Ouagadougou to Mema, learning from different peoples, building alliances, and gathering wisdom. Sundiata's exile became his training ground. Meanwhile, back home, Sumanguru's conquest reached Niani. He crushed the Mandinka clans, burned villages, and enslaved chiefs. Sundiata's homeland was now under Soso rule. That was the final spark. The lion had been sleeping now, he was ready to roar. It began quietly, with secret meetings among Mandinka chiefs who had grown tired of Soso's cruelty. They sent word to Sundiata, "Come back, Lion of Mali. Lead us." By this time, Sundiata was no longer the exiled boy. He had become a seasoned warrior, respected by kings. He answered their call without hesitation. He returned to his homeland with a growing army, men from every corner of the Mande world. Hunters, warriors, smiths, horsemen, all united by one purpose: to end Sumanguru's tyranny. Sumanguru heard of Sundiata's return and laughed. He believed no mortal could defeat him, not when he had the power of his fetishes, his magic charms, and the spirits he commanded. But Sundiata had something stronger: unity, courage, and destiny. It was the year 1235, near a place called Kirina, not far from present-day Mali and Guinea. The two armies faced each other across a dry plain under the burning sun. On one side stood Sumanguru's army, disciplined, cruel, and massive. They wore charms, bones, and feathers. Drummers pounded rhythms meant to call on the spirits of war. Sumanguru himself rode at the front, dressed in dark armor, his face hidden behind a fearsome mask. On the other side stood Sundiata's forces, smaller, but fierce and determined. They carried bows, spears, and the courage of men fighting for freedom. Sundiata, tall and broad-shouldered, rode at the head. In his hand, he carried a special arrow, one forged to counter Sumanguru's magic. The air was heavy, the drums thundered, and the ground shook under thousands of marching feet. The Battle of Kirina had begun. When the war horns blew, the plain exploded into chaos. Arrows darkened the sky, spears clashed, the sound of steel echoed across the land. Sumanguru moved like a shadow, striking and vanishing. His enemies swore arrows could not touch him, that he turned invisible or became smoke. His charm, they said, made him untouchable. Sundiata fought like the lion his people believed him to be. He encouraged his men, holding his ground, refusing to fall back. But each time Sumanguru appeared, death followed. Sundiata's warriors were brave, but they needed more than strength. They needed a way to break Sumanguru's power. And that's when legend meets history. According to the old griots, the storytellers who kept this history alive, Sundiata learned the secret of Sumanguru's magic from his sister, Nana Triban. Nana had been taken as one of Sumanguru's wives, but she escaped and revealed the truth. Sumanguru's power came from a fetish, a small talisman made of animal skin and hair, hidden in his belt. If that fetish were struck, his magic would vanish. Armed with this knowledge, Sundiata prepared his final attack. He fitted his special arrow, tipped with the spine of a white cock, the one thing said to counter Sumanguru's magic, and aimed. As Sumanguru appeared on the battlefield, Sundiata released the arrow. It struck Sumanguru right where his fetish was tied. Sumanguru let out a terrible cry. His body shimmered, his power broken. For the first time, the invincible king bled. Wounded and weakened, Sumanguru fled the battlefield. Sundiata's warriors pursued him across the plains and into the mountains. Some say he vanished into thin air. Others say he leapt into a cave in the Kukuyan Mountains and was never seen again. But one thing is certain, his reign ended that day. The Soso kingdom collapsed and the Mandinka people were free. Sundiata did not seek revenge or destruction. Instead, he began to rebuild, uniting the clans, restoring peace, and laying the foundation of what would become the Mali Empire.